And it is Mystical Monday. Welcome, dear friends, dear community. This is Katerina Satori. This is a weekly experience that I bring first on my Facebook page, Facebook profile. This is my oldest platform. I've been here for approaching 10 years. So then I usually take the video and I put it on my YouTube channel. So if you don't know that I have a YouTube channel, it's Katerina Satori, and you can find all the videos that has ever been published there. And like always, I'm just gonna check the sound to make sure it's working. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. So while more people are joining and whoever's going to catch the replay, this live stream is dedicated to give a bigger perspective of what's happening on the planet and will be happening on the planet in terms of spiritual awakening and how it's going to affect you, your career, your business, your vision, what are you creating in the world. And I'd like to bring it from the perspective of divine feminine awakening, because this is the age of divine feminine rising, and it's rising in all of us, independent on gender. And divine feminine is not a gender, it's a realm of consciousness, right? And it's a new way of relationship with the universe. It's a new way of relating to your body, to nature, to others. So I'd like to start this conversation that what I'll share today here will will help you to feel more empowered, and will help you to navigate these big changes that are happening on the planet, and to navigate them with clarity and with inner calm and an inner strength. Before I go any further, I'd like to share with you that I went through divine feminine awakening in around 2018. It was a really strong current of divine feminine wisdom arriving into my life and transforming how I see leadership, how I see business, how I see expression, right? And all those years from 2018 to 2024, so that's 6 years, right? 6 years. It was really for me the journey of taking these illuminating breakthroughs and epiphanies and insights and putting them into my life and transforming different ways of being. It's a journey of embodiment. This year I have published a book of how I met Divine Mother, and this is my story of how, the Divine Mother came to me in a very direct mystical revelation, and how she began teaching me her curriculum of grace, because her curriculum is filled with grace. I also co-authored another book called Awakening to the Wisdom of Divine Mother, who is an incredible elder and a teacher in his own right, Michael Bright. So you can find these books on Amazon if you'd like to go deeper into really reading the personal experience with the divine feminine, right? And let's talk about what is happening on the planet and what will be happening on the planet. And I can transmit this message from deep intuitive insight, from sitting with many visionary experiences, deep plant medicine experiences, and walking this path of communicating with the cosmic mother. One of the intuitive feelings that I've had for a while, that what will assist the shift of the collective on a main planetary scale is this biological phenomena called Kundalini awakening, where the divine feminine is awakening through our body, right? It's not awakening outside of us. It's awakening by breaking through the constrictions and the tissues and the organs, and awakening as this yearning for a new kind of life, for a new kind of experience, for a new kind of a relationship with the cosmos. So Kundalini awakening is what I deeply sense is will be happening more and more. And just before I got on this live stream, I saw somebody on Facebook asking, are there any books that you can recommend to help me support my clients who are going through Kundalini awakening? And I'm here to share this with you. Will be happening more and more and more, but just imagine on a global scale. It's been happening already. We simply didn't have the right language to understand that phenomena. And the kind of like a typical way to explain that transformation is a midlife crisis, right? So midlife crisis is a very known phenomena that during the midlife, the majority of people going through intense soul searching, they either become disillusioned by the life that they thought they needed to live, and they want to walk away from everything in searching of more authentic self, right? So the midlife crisis is actually Kundalini awakening unrecognized. So we are biologically designed to search for a higher meaning, to search for divine feminine, even if we don't know that's what it's called. We are biologically and psychologically designed to feel that search around midlife, mid 40s, maybe 50s, and now with how everything is accelerating on the planet, you feel that surge at a younger years. There are some people on the planet who begin to go through this search and soul search and awakening in their early 20s, right? So Kundalini awakening is a natural awakening of the heart, of our soul, and we get to prepare for that, prepare our body. This is why when we go through spiritual awakening, we naturally want to eat different foods, to be around different kind of people. We become more sensitive, and what happens is our body is telling us, hey, I'm about to awaken a divine essence in you. You want to make sure that your body is ready, otherwise you're gonna go through negative side effects, right? When people talk about Kundalini awakening going wrong, I like to question that experience and point out that it's usually going wrong for the people who are seeking accelerated peak spiritual experiences while their body is not prepared for it, right? So we got to take responsibility for all of our experiences. Now, this is what's going to happen on a planetary level, and Kundalini awakening happens as a natural desire to search for higher truth and higher aspiration, and also when we come into a right relationship with our sexuality, right? The enlightenment through our sexual experiences, right? The Kundalini is our sexuality, is our sexual energy that lays dormant. Now, divine feminine is the Kundalini. So the divine feminine that we talk about, how it's rising inside of us, rising in our bodies, is the Kundalini sleeping in our spine. So when we begin to search, when we begin to attend retreats, when we begin to work with the plant medicine, what we are doing, we are awakening our inner feminine, our inner goddess that is inside our body. We don't need to search for it outside, it's already inside. We need to prepare the environment. We need to prepare our consciousness to let her rise more and more and more. Now, how is this going to affect your business? If you are a conscious business owner, if you are creative, if you are a spiritual entrepreneur, your business is a reflection of your consciousness. So when you are going to go through Kundalini awakening, your business will go through its own version of Kundalini awakening. And this is how it's going to play out, or this is how it may play out. It will go through these rhythms and these cycles that we call the cycle of death and rebirth. And last week I spoke a little bit about that, when we begin to become more aware, we begin to become more aware of these cycles and movements of energy. There's going to be cycles of acceleration and then a cycle of you being pushed into a pause. There's going to be a cycle of increase, like everything you touch turns to gold and the good fortune just rolls off your fingers and you are in this wave of expansion. And there's going to be a cycle of decrease where nothing that you do seems to work because there is a deeper teaching for you, right? And I'll share also with you these 5 acts that happens universally. And once I've learned that through studying tantric teachings, non-dual tantric philosophy of life, this was eye-opening for me, because when you start working, when you start letting the divine feminine energy to guide you, to teach you, you're opening yourself up to a profound level of passion, aliveness, full expression, right? You're opening yourself up to experience of you living an authentic life. It's such a process of shedding the masks of identity. You do it for yourself, but you also do it for your business, because the business is a part of you. So your business is going to go through reinvention, right? And your business will go from these cycles where you feel like you found it, like this is it, this is what I'm doing, and suddenly you're going to go through experience of disillusionment and not feeling connected to what you've been doing, not feeling connected to your message, to your expression. And this is where a lot of people get disoriented and stuck, because they don't understand the pulse of transformation. And this is why I felt compelled to share with you this live stream, to codify in a way this transformational map, this pulse of Shakti, of divine feminine energy that is moving through you, right? So once again, if you are a conscious entrepreneur, conscious business owner, conscious creative who are here to be the light worker, hold the light for the planet, live an aware and awake life, what I'm about to share with you can be so life-changing for you. You begin to see the cycles that you're going through and your business going through more objectively, right? You will begin to find strength in transformation instead of being frozen by a sudden change, right? So I'd like to share with you these 5 universal acts or 5 processes of manifestation. This comes to us from a tantric, non-dual tantric tradition, right? Not the Vedanta Tantra, but truly the tradition that has been passed on verbally from a master to a teacher, right? From the embodied teacher to a student, from a master to a student. That's what I was trying to say. So this is really powerful. Think of it like a wheel of creation, right? And the very first step is called manifestation. This is the first stage of creation, anything, right? We love this stage. We love feeling a sense of personal power where we have an intention and it comes true. We have a thought and magically our thought becomes reality. We love this stage, don't we? Of course we do, but this is only 1 out of 5. 5 fingers. 1 out of 5 stages of creation. So manifestation is the beginning, is the birth. The second stage, this is where you feel really empowered in life, right? The second stage is called sustenance, where everything that is manifested is being sustained. And you, as a co-creator of your reality, you sustain your manifestation. Just how if you plant a garden, You need to sustain your garden, right? By watering the plants and showing it love. When you start your business, you need to sustain your business. You can't just drift away on a cloud thinking that your business will sustain itself. So, sustenance is the second stage. And oftentimes, here in the West, we naively believe this is where we're going to be for the forever, right? Manifest and sustain. And our willpower and our intellect will drive it home. But here's where we get the first shock of reality and the first initiation into a deeper mystery of life. Stage number 3, disillusion, where everything that has been manifested, sustained, has a time. Every beginning has an ending. So the stage of disillusion comes, and if we've never been here, we don't know how to deal with it. And so many people here, conscious business owners, conscious entrepreneurs, get stuck in a disillusion phase, right? They either stuck in resistance, like they don't want a part of their business or a part of their identity to dissolve. So they fight and resist and they worry and they stress. And that only creates the disillusion process even thicker, even more difficult. Right? You ever tried, tried to fight a quicksand, you're always gonna lose. So disillusion is the second stage. If you don't understand what's happening, this is an intense experience, right? Where you feel like the rug is being pulled from under your feet and you don't know what's happening to you. But this is a natural process of the universe. Every ending has a new beginning, right? And from here, oftentimes we just want to go straight to a new manifestation. We don't want the gap. But there is 2 stages that are between. And this is why it's so important to know them. The next stage is concealment. Stage number 4, concealment. This is the most unnerving stage. Again, if you don't know what's happening, this will bring up your core wounds and your fears. Because in this stage, you don't see the vision. And if you are a visionary, if you are a leader, you are expected to have a vision all the time, unconsciously or consciously. You are expected to know your way forward, right? So this is a challenging stage because in concealment you don't see your way forward, right? And this is where you're most vulnerable because you begin to doubt yourself. You begin to doubt that you have magic or mastery. Like, where's your genius? Where did your genius go? You are in the phase of concealment. You're in the phase of feeling separate, feeling disconnected. And in this phase, this is where people start experiencing their first dark night of the ego, dark night of the soul, right? And they go through the ego death. And I'll share more about this stage, but this is not the final stage. This is just the stage number 4, concealment. So if you think you are the only one who go through experience where you don't see the vision, I really hope this message will help you feel not alone, that this is a universal experience. There are tools and practices that can help you move through these stages with grace. But ultimately, after this concealment phase, the phase number 5, which is the most beautiful. I mean, they're all beautiful because they help you grow. But let's see, this is the phase number 5, revelation. Revelation, where suddenly your process, your alchemical process is coming to completion and the fog is being lifted and the veil is being lifted and you have been touched by grace. And grace is another name for divine feminine, right? You can't will this to happen. You can't just throw a tantrum and demand this to come to you. You can't pay for this to happen, right? You only can surrender to receive the revelation. You only can be on your knees, asking the divine to help you remove the debris from your sight, from your heart, so you can have this spaciousness in your being to receive the revelation of the divine. Now, that's a cyclical process, right? So we're going to go through this over and over and over again until we have a physical body. And if you have a business, if you have a conscious business, your business will go through these cycles. And once I understood that, this is, to me, this is an example of bringing divine feminine wisdom into our modern business, into our leadership. It's not wearing goddesses dresses. It's not, attending a retreat. It's not that. It's about how do we take this potent alchemical wisdom of the sacred feminine and empower our vision, empower the business that is source led, empower the movement that we're here to lead, empower the transmission that we're here to express, right? So this is really revolutionary. The 5 stages: manifestation, first; sustenance, second; third, disillusion; fourth, concealment; and the 5th is revelation and grace. I find that these powerful stages are incredibly enlightening to know and to navigate, because more and more people gonna go through ego death of their careers, of their businesses, of their lives. Ego death is an invitation to Kundalini awakening. And when we don't understand that, we get really frightened of this very accelerated transformation. And when we get frightened, we don't move forward. We stop serving, we stop creating, we stop acting on our inspiration, right? All right. And, so many times I talk to somebody and they say, I'm in this alchemical process, and I'm just letting go of everything, and I'm not moving forward. And what my spirit guides, been teaching me last 2 years, that there is another way. There is a way of going through a deep inner transformation and showing up for your leadership and showing up for your business. It's not one or another. We can develop this strength of inner fortitude and inner alignment that comes from divine feminine, right? We can connect to this divine Shakti. Shakti is the word for power. And true power is not the control or strength over others. The true power is being present and flexible when you go through intense transformation, right? True power is when you go through a stage of disillusion and you can hold an awareness, you can lift up your consciousness and track where you at. You can say, oh, this looks like I'm in the process of disillusion. What do I require? What are my tools? What are my practices? How can I connect to the spirit of my inner feminine? Because our inner feminine is that inner oracle. It's inner priestess in us. Inner priestess knows how to navigate the unknown, right? This is probably the only archetype that is most equipped to navigate, to help you navigate the chapter in your life and in your business where your vision is veiled. You connect to your inner priestess, you connect to that inner channel. And this is why, I find it's so beautiful to bring these ancient mystical teachings and blend them with how we show up for our leadership, how we show up for our life, how we show up for our business, right? They are true mystical teachings, are deeply practical. If we don't know how to apply these mystical revelations, what's the purpose of studying them? But if you can find the way to say, this profound mystical teaching, this is how it can help me meet a next business challenge, meet a next courageous opportunity for me to express my voice in a new way. Now we have this beautiful fusion of ancient mysteries and modern life, right? So I wanted to share this with you on this mystical Monday. This is the weekly transmission series that I intend to continue to share. And I'm going to leave maybe 10 minutes for questions. And I'll speak more about Kundalini awakening as awakening of divine fire within you. And I believe, this is my deepest conviction, that we need more leaders who have awakened Kundalini, right? This is what will transform this planet. And we need more speakers who have Kundalini awakened, because then they speak from the embodiment, they speak from the fire of their soul, they don't speak from the intellect, right? And Kundalini awakening is awakening of your vitality. We need more energy, we need more power. So all of that lays in awakening of our inner feminine, awakening of our Kundalini, awakening that fire of sacred work that we're here to fulfill and to bring. So anybody has a question on what I've covered, you are invited to share. And I would say just maybe one more share that wants to come through is what always helps me when I go through these cycles of deep alchemy and transformation is how I name the experience. Because, if you take anything out of this live stream beside these 5 epic stages of manifestation that I feel every human being needs to know to live an empowered life. Second, there is such a liberation on how we name things. If you know that ego death is not a punishment, it's not something that you did wrong, it's a gift from your divine self. It's a gift of Kundalini awakening, of awakening to the truth of who you are. Then when you go through a deep transformation, you can surrender and you can welcome it. You can stop fighting it, because fighting is futile anyway. Right? So I have a question here. Hey, Samantha. Curious if you have any tips to guide us as we navigate concealment. Feels like I have experienced this year and I'm moving into revelation. Any tips of how you've navigated this in your journey? Yes, Samantha, absolutely. I just emerged from the cycle of concealment myself, and it was very uncomfortable. What helped me, what assisted me, is to do practices that keep my channel of communication open, right? So a practice, daily practice for me has been supportive as the breath work, right? So breath gives me this, my intuitive channel needs to be open. And I use the word need, right? Like it's a must for me. So daily breath work and daily extended time in nature, without the phone, without music, without audiobook. What I am doing, I am aligning my consciousness to natural rhythm, and I'm allowing the nature's sound to soothe my nervous system. So that one has been really transformative. Also, daily writing. So writing in my journal, the stream of consciousness. Then I also like to channel my guides. So I will go into a channeling state, right? And I simply say, beloved guides, what is most important for me to remember right now? What do you want me to realize about this process now? What is most helpful? And then the next thing is I lean on my support group and my peers. So when I'm in the process of concealment, I feel very vulnerable and I don't need a lot of advice from anyone. What I'm looking for is my peers, people who lead on the same level of dedication, right? And who really see me. So I reach out to my core friends and I share, I'm in this process. Can you, I really need some support. And what I'm looking for their reflection and their validation that this stage, they know this stage intimately. They've been there. And it's somebody who's been there, like their vibration can lift you up. They can attune you in a way, right? That can help you connect to that great remembrance. Because a lot of times in the stage of concealment, our small self, our personality self, is looking for a reason because the mind is trying to understand what is happening. And this is a process of the soul, so it's beyond the mind, right? So the mind is like trying to find the blame or trying to feel guilty. I did something wrong. Something is wrong with me. Why am I here? And that's just the mind is trying to understand. That's its job. The soul knows that it's about to receive that revelation and grace, but it needs to be still. The metaphor that I like to use is a metaphor of a snake. Snake is such a powerful totem for me. I work with the Cobra Goddess as one of my allies. She's tattooed on my arm, right? A snake to me is a symbol when we go through concealment. Snake sheds its skin often, sometimes once a month. And a snake will, in order for a snake to shed its skin, it has to become still. And it becomes so still that it looks like it's already dead, right? And that is a metaphor that I like to lean on when I go through the process of concealment. But I don't take it literally. I don't take it that I need to become still and drop everything I'm doing and just kind of like let all my human responsibilities go. Maybe I take a day for that. But then I gotta find the way to keep moving forward while maintaining inner stillness, right? Not going into reactive doing. It's like this very Zen approach, like becoming really present and acting from the inner stillness. I hope I'm conveying this. I hope I'm conveying this, right? I haven't mastered this. I am in the process of really deepening this curriculum, right? And the revelation always comes. But in the process of concealment, right, because your most potent voice, your voice of truth, the voice of your womb, comes through the process of concealment. Yes, exactly. Hi, Rob. Do these stages also apply to the collective, and what can we do to support the collective as it moves through these stages? Yes, absolutely. This is what's happening on the collective. It's a cycles, right? The collective has these basic terms such as recession, or what's the other term, the opposite of recession? The collective mind is using down cycle, up cycle, right? This is kind of like the very basic understanding of the collective, of the cycles of the universe that they're going through. How can we support the collective, Rob? The way that you feel called, hold the frequency, right? My way of supporting the collective is through education. I deeply believe education is the key to individuals' empowerment, right? So if I share with you these 5 stages, my intention is for you to have it in your awareness. And then in order for it to become alive in your life or in the life of any individual, you actually get to apply this, right? And identify the first step, identify which stage are you at, which stage is your business at, which stage is collective at, and then what are the tools, practices, and processes that I require to move through it, right? Absolutely. And reaching out to your peers, reaching out to your loved ones, but basically reaching out to the people who see you, right? That's the most important element. People who see you, because people who don't see you, they can get, destabilized by your own process and start projecting their fears onto you. And that's the last thing that you want. You want a real spiritual warrior who can meet you. Like you are going through a battle with your own inner demons, you want to talk to another warrior who knows what's up, right? The avatar appears. Hey, Veronica, my love, good to see you. Samantha has another question. The, there is a question of how will I step into the vision as it feels so big. Have you ever received the vision that feels so big that you wondered how to realize it? Yes, Amanda, that's how you know that's the correct vision. After you go, so think, oh, I'm receiving something that I haven't seen before, but it's just dropping in right now. So think about the stage of concealment is you in the valley. You are being hollowed out like a bamboo by Great Spirit. All that's not necessary being emptied. So you become a bigger vessel to receive a bigger revelation and grace. This is why the vision always comes and it feels like it's too big for you. That's a right feeling because it's not for you. It's for the divine together with you. For me, it's Divine Mother and me. We are together creating this vision. If it was only up to me, I would just run away from this so many times. But knowing it's a Divine Mother and me together, that is her vision that wants to come through. And then if it's her vision and I am the ambassador on the planet to represent this vision that's coming through, then I am not scared or burdened or overwhelmed. I know I get to live in response, right? And response that the right direction comes every day. Just a right amount of guidance, a right amount of fire, right? You know those days where you wake up and you feel very fiery. There's this dynamic energy moving through you. Seize that energy and boldly initiate, because then that energy will shift into the lunar energy, maybe even as fast as next day, where that dynamic energy is gone and it's replaced by this receptive lunar experience. So when we work with Kundalini and Divine Feminine, we're working with surfing these energies and knowing today's dynamic, I am going to initiate, move forward. Tomorrow is receptive, I am going to cultivate, sustain, or simply be, right? So that's how I really see it. I see that the vision, the vision that has just unveiled itself through divine grace to me. I was catching it all day yesterday, typing it, just receiving it, receiving it, receiving it. And this morning I woke up, I was like, yeah, it feels bigger than me. Absolutely, it feels bigger than me. That's how I know it is divinely inspired. If it feels like, I totally can do it, that comes from the mind and from the intellect. Divinely inspired vision will always feel bigger than you. And that's the correct orientation. Avatar fears. Yes, yes, yes. And then, the divine feminine has many different expressions. It has many different ways, many different archetypes. And I'd like to share with you how I invoke different archetype. But I'm just gonna do it briefly, very, very briefly. There's many faces of the divine. I'm actually about to open the doors to my divine feminine embodiment experience called Shakti Awakening, where I teach about these different expressions of the goddess and how you can ignite its Shakti through your body. I'll give you one example of a business warrior archetype. And this is an example of somebody who is a cosmic multitasker. And I channel this archetype energy every time where Divine Spirit asks me to lead 3 projects at the same time, right? And the divine is asking me, hey, you have that capacity. Who told you to lead only one project? Like how limited is that thinking? You can lead 3 projects at the time. And the inspiration that I receive is through this divine being Durga, who is a very solar energy goddess. She is not like Lakshmi, who is the energy of vitality, good fortune, auspiciousness, very sweet, refined, elegant energy. That's Lakshmi, right? Very, very elegant, but also easily displeased. Lakshmi is easily displeased. Every time we are in vanity, pride, ego, Lakshmi leaves and our good fortune leaves. But we're the ones who push her away, right? This is how we work with the Shakti. But the Durga, to me, Durga is a cosmic multitasker. And with acceleration of energy, we all get to learn to open up 8 Durga arms, right? And really trust our capacity, right? When you feel that solar energy comes through you, you say, did I really maximize today? Did I really express? Did I really manifest? Did I really went for it? Or did I just do 1/4 of my capacity because I do not trust myself, right? I find when I remember it's all about trusting yourself and trusting the divine, then these Durga arms activate and I am able to flow through these activities with presence, with strong inner core. I can share with you. I feel most creatively satisfied when I lead 3 programs at the same time. It's so electric, right? Where you know, wow, I'm really maximizing my potential. So whatever that is for you, if you desire to go to the next level, so to speak, what's the next level of your expression? What's the next level of your passion? What's the next level of your playful multitasking that Durga says we absolutely have a capacity? You know, I invoke Durga in the beginning of a project. I invoke her at the end of a project. And she is a great warrior. She helps us win the battles with our own mind, because you know she's a warrior goddess and she helps us win the war. But which war? The war with our fear, with our self-doubt, with procrastination, with holding back our voice, with not telling the fullness of our story. Durga comes and says, I am the one who conquers all. And if you want to channel my energy, you get to raise raise the vision. What is worth showing up for, right? What kind of battle that you want to show up for? She's a warrior goddess. She's also a goddess who is a protector. So you want to have these Shakti energies in you activated. What I'd like to finish this live stream with is that the goddess is not outside of us. I mean, she is. Entire planet is her body. But the way we make an intimate contact with Divine Feminine is by allowing her to rise in our body as a Kundalini force. And then, what is so beautiful about Kundalini awakening, you awaken to infinite creativity, infinite expression, infinite courage, infinite aliveness, infinite radiance. All of that are gifts of Kundalini. And if you reframe that every time a new wave of Kundalini rises, an old part of you needs to be shed, if you stop seeing it as something bad happening, you reframe it as soon as possible, and you become a master reframer. Oh, this old part of me is shedding, is falling away. And I'm not gonna resist. I'm going to find a way to accept and to be patient with the process, and one day even to celebrate, right? So that's my prayer for us, for the collective, to come back to the nature cycles. I love what Rob asked, how do we empower the collective? We need to go back to the cyclical wisdom of the planet. When you go to indigenous tribes who live in nature, who don't live through the mind, they are at peace with the cycles of life because they grew up like that. We grew up with technology. We grew up with news telling us what's going on in the world. And this is why we are so disconnected from it. when more and more of us begin to embody this cyclical nature of the cosmos, we begin to live it, we become these portals of new vibration for others. That's what I deeply believe. Thank you so much for joining me in this mystical Monday. And with all my love, many, many blessings your way. And I will see you next time when I teach mystical, divine feminine, entrepreneurial wisdom, or connect with you in this glorious internet land. Thank you so much. And of course, like always, feel free to tag, share this video to anybody who you feel would be supportive. Because the more we understand these 5 stages of creation and disillusion and concealment and revelation, the more we can lead differently, the more we can build sustainable businesses, the more we can preserve our vitality and health, the more we can create a better world together.